We're here at beautiful Church Street Gym, downtown Manhattan. I got my guy with me, Chris Algieri. No gloves yet. Maybe we'll put the gloves on in a little bit. We're talking about the rematch, light heavyweight division, highly controversial in their first fight. Beterbiev and Bivol. Beterbiev gets the decision in the first fight. Controversial. You had Bivol, right?
I did. I still believe Bivol won that fight. But it was an excellent fight throughout. Tactical, very, very tactical. Was not a barn burner type fight. It wasn't like an all-action fight. Both guys very, very smart, super high boxing IQ. A real boxing heads boxing match.
Do you think the second fight will be a lot like the first fight? Will it be the 13th round? Or will it be a whole new fight with whole new tactics?
I think it'll be very similar to the first fight, but I don't think it's going to be round 13. I don't think they're going to really pick up where they left off because they're both still trying to really decide who's the better fighter. They're both still so tactically, tightly matched. I think it's going to be a really close tactical fight. Once again, it's going to be very similar. I think it's really going to be a carbon copy of the last fight.
We'll start with Bivol because he's the one that technically has to make some adjustments because he did lose the fight. Unless they change the judges, unless they find judges that reward what Bivol does. We know what Bivol does.
Yeah.
He's in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out, and he's going to throw in the low 40s. He's going to pump his jab, and he's going to be precision with the power shots. I thought in the first fight, he kind of let his hands go a little bit more than usual, and he was very precise. And I thought he actually stunned Beterbiev a few times.
Yep.
So what adjustments does Bivol have to make? Does he have to make any adjustments? Is he going to go out of his game plan? Is he going to come out of his shell? Is he going to have to do something drastically different?
No, I don't think so. I think that's a mistake. I think doing anything drastically different is going to put in position to get hurt because Beterbiev is one of the best punchers in the game today. He talked about even blocking those shots, how his hand was swollen as Beterbiev was punching through the gloves. But I think he should do exactly what he did last time. I think he just needs to be a little more demonstrative towards the end of the fight. In those last couple rounds, you can't let Beterbiev get that momentum.
Wait, so then he does have to make some changes then?
Well,
when you say be a little more demonstrative, does that mean throw the right hand more?
No. I mean at the end of the fight, not every round. I think he did really well winning the rounds that he won. But I think toward the end of the fight, he's got to be able to keep Beterbiev off of him just rolling in.
So if that's the case, then I see this going to the cards once again.
Yes,
I see it being, at the end of the fight, we don't know whose hand is getting raised. I kind of think Bivol has to do something different. I know that's crazy because then it's like goes against everything that he's about, and his style should be rewarded. He should technically got his hand raised in that fight. But I also feel like if they're going to use, not the same judges, but if the judges aren't going to give him the credit that he deserves, I think he's going to have to make some adjustments.
But also, there's been so much controversy around it that he might not have to do anything different. People are going to be looking more for what you said, or maybe leaning towards Bivol in certain rounds. And maybe the judges might do that as well. And we like to think that the judges are unbiased, but that's never the case.
Unless they use that AI judge for this one.
Well, not going to score, but.
But will Bivol, what is Bivol going out of his comfort zone? What is Bivol making it? What does that even look like?
I would imagine it's him throwing more punches, but that's just going to open him up for Beterbiev's power. I don't think it's a good idea. Beterbiev can knock him out.
And now we'll go to Beterbiev, who I thought fought an interesting fight. I thought he could have been even more, he could have opened up more. He was coming off of knee surgery. He's close to 40 years old. I think this is a benefit that he's fighting so soon. No time, no layoff, no time to get injured in training camp. Just keep that train rolling. With Beterbiev,
and it wasn't like a super tough fight either. It was not like both guys got beat up, and there was a lot of recovery necessary.
With Beterbiev, what does he get to do different? Does he do anything different? Because he ultimately got his hand raised, but I felt like we didn't see the best Beterbiev in that first fight.
No, he needs to start earlier. The beginning of the fight was a little too slow, a little too tactical. And you saw how hard he came on toward the end of the fight and was able to separate. And that's why he got the decision, I believe. It's because Bivol was letting rounds go toward the end. So if Beterbiev can start that aggression sooner, I think that'll be the difference that he needs to make.
So Bivol is probably the best defender in boxing. It's him and Shakur Stevenson. We're talking 12, 13% their opponents land on him. Beterbiev was able to get through. He didn't land any higher than maybe 20% of his punches, but he did find him enough to get his hand raised. Now, with Beterbiev, he said he could knock him out.
Yeah.
And what scenario do you see Beterbiev knocking out Bivol?
What you said earlier, that Bivol has to make a drastic change, and he becomes a more aggressive, and he gets the flip with the right hand. Because Beterbiev's power is otherworldly, the way that this guy punches. Bivol's a human. He can get knocked out. So Beterbiev can, if he lands that shot, I think he can put him away.
I think both guys can be hit. I mean,
Yes. Both guys can be hurt, too.
I just gave you the stats. Where Beterbiev has hit the canvas before.
Yes.
Bivol hasn't, but Beterbiev can open up. That's why Bivol can open up, and that's when Beterbiev can land something devastating. I want to see a little more excitement in this fight.
Yeah.
Because it was the biggest fight of the year, I think, in terms of matchup. And I think some casual fans were like, they were like, this wasn't
it was tactile.
This wasn't some rocky type of fight. No one was expecting that. But do you see that happening in this fight? I would like to see Bivol open up a little more. I think he's tired of not getting the credit he deserves, and I think he showed that in the fight before Beterbiev, the Zinad.
Yes.
Where he was just in the pocket more, but it's one thing to stand in the pocket and trade when you're fighting no disrespect to Zinad, where you're not going to really face any fire coming back. Beterbiev is going to throw some heat. He was throwing some huge shots.
Yes, I was surprised Bivol stood in front of Beterbiev as much as he did. He was willing to take the risk to stay in the pocket, like you said. And I think now coming into a second fight where, listen, I've been 12 rounds with this guy. Yes, he's got great power, but guess what? I was there for 12 rounds. He didn't get rid of me like he got rid of every single other fighter he's ever fought. So he could have that renewed confidence in the fact that he's already spent 12 rounds with this guy.
Prediction time. Will Bivol hit the canvas?
No.
Will Bivol have his hand raised?
Yes.
Trilogy.
Potentially.
I'd be down for a trilogy. We can see Benavidez, man, to see what happens.
I could watch those guys fight 10 times. Yeah. From a tactical standpoint, from someone who like really watches boxing the way that I do, I'd love the way they fight.
I think Bivol will win again. I think he'll look more spectacular.
Better be able to win.
I think Bivol will win this
time. There you go.
This time he'll get
This time he'll
get his what he deserves, like a real win on his record. I think that he's more capable of improving than Beterbiev is capable of stepping on the gas.
Yeah, in terms of improvement, I don't think Beterbiev is going to get any better. But he just has to do more of what he did.
He might catch him.
He might catch him. You can always catch him. Right.
It could be a very exciting fight. I think it will be an exciting fight, a rematch between Beterbiev and Bivol.
Streaming live on ppv.com. Order now.